Ancient Egypt. Building pyramids, the floodings of the Nile, kings and queens, written hieroglyphs in beautiful temples. And what about the knowledge the ancient Egyptians had? It's not a secret that we've learned so much from this remarkable society. This society had great pharaohs through the times. They were defined by their actions, and they planned way ahead during their reign for their venture into the afterlife. Let's take a look at the greatest pharaohs of all time. Number 5. Djoser. Also called Necherikhet, was the first ruler of the 3rd dynasty, and he ruled about 29 years, around 2650 BCE. Djoser is known for his step pyramid. The step pyramid is located in the Saqqara necropolis. It is the first pyramid ever built. The pyramid was designed by the best architect in Egypt at the time, Imhotep. Imhotep was also an astronomer, mathematician, and physician. He became Djoser's most trusted advisor. The step pyramid is 60 meters high and entirely built of stone. At that time, the step pyramid was the highest structure in all of Egypt. When it was completed, it became the norm for royal tombs. Back then, this was a new way to bury a king, as the kings before Djoser used to be buried in mustabas, which were rectangular tombs. Djoser means holy or sacred. Djoser oversaw many other building projects, such as tombs, temples, and monuments. On a very specific night, Djoser had a dream about the god Khnum, who told him that his temple near Aswan was in very bad shape. During this time there was a famine. After Djoser built a new temple for Khnum, the famine was finally over. The people of Egypt praised him as a hero for this, and he will always be remembered around the world for having the first pyramid, which still stands today. Whenever you have time to visit Egypt, go and see it with your own eyes. Number 4. Khufu. Khufu might not be the most famous pharaoh in the world, but he was one of the most important pharaohs of the Old Kingdom. Khufu managed to achieve something quite extraordinary. During his reign, one of the 7 world wonders was built, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Khufu ruled during the Old Kingdom, approximately between 2551 and 2528 BCE. He was the son of Pharaoh Snefru and his wife Hetepheres. His full name was actually Khnum Khufu, which means Khnum protect me, but the Greeks used to call him Cheops. Khufu had a son Jedefre, and after Khufu, he became the ruler of Egypt. Right after him, Khufu's other son Khafre reigned. He gave the order to build the second pyramid at the Giza complex. Khufu's name and the pyramids starred in many movies, books, and even in games such as Assassin's Creed Origins.
Ancient writing from the Old Kingdom.
Some said Khufu was a great leader. However, others claimed that he was a tyrant, so it's quite hard to know exactly. Looking back, we think Khufu achieved great things, as the pyramids are still standing and people are traveling across the globe to see them. Number 3. Thutmose III. Thutmose III was the son of Thutmose II. His mother was called Isis and was one of the secondary wives of the pharaoh. His father died when he was 3 years old. As there was no other prince in line of the throne, Thutmose became the official new pharaoh. As he was only 3 years old and too young to rule, his stepmother, Hatshepsut, acted as a regent and became the ruler of Egypt at that time. From a young age, Thutmose acquired a lot of military skills, such as archery and the ability to ride horses. After about 22 years of Hatshepsut's reign, Thutmose finally got the absolute power over Egypt. Thutmose created one of the largest empires ever. He carried out 17 military campaigns over time, and it's documented that he has captured over 350 cities. Thutmose fought from northern Syria all the way to Nubia. Many historians considered him a military genius, and was even called the Napoleon of Egypt. Many of the campaigns he led are written on the walls of the Temple of Amun in Karnak. Thutmose reigned from 1479 BCE until 1425 BCE, and he was a great pharaoh in many different aspects. He was not only a great fighter but also a great builder. After the years of fighting, Thutmose carried out the construction of over 50 temples all over Egypt. New ways of excellent craftsmanship were achieved during his reign. After Thutmose died, he was buried in the Valley of the Kings with the rulers of the same era and got the status that he deserved. This next pharaoh, I'm sure you know his name.
Number 2. Tutankhamun.
Being the son of Akhenaten, Tutankhamun was actually born with the name Tutankhaten. The mummy of his mother was found and he usually referred to her as the younger lady. King Tut became pharaoh at 9 years old, and after becoming pharaoh he changed his name to Tutankhamun to honor the god Amun. Many of us want to believe that Tutankhamun was a very healthy and strong man. Unfortunately, he had many defects in his DNA. Tutankhamun had a club foot and his spine was severely crooked. His tomb got discovered in 1922 by the famous archaeologist Howard Carter. It was almost the only tomb which hadn't been robbed.
Tut's tomb contained over 5,000 artifacts. It had objects such as furniture, chariots, weapons, clothes, and about 130 walking sticks. The many canes found also insisted that the boy king had difficulties walking properly. When the mummy of Tutankhamun was analyzed, conclusions were that he died at 19 years old, and one day before he died, he did have an accident. Many specialists have their own theories about Tut's death. However, it's still a mystery to this day. There were even people that thought that Tutankhamun got murdered as his mummy had a fractured skull. But later they found out that the skull fracture was made during the mummification process. Tutankhamun might not be the pharaoh with the most achievements as he died so young. But he is one of the greats that come to mind when we talk about ancient Egypt, and he will never be forgotten, as he is the golden boy, Tutankhamun.
Now it's finally time to bring out the champ, the final boss, the legendary pharaoh whose name is known worldwide and all over Egypt. Number 1. Ramses II.
Ramses II, or Ramses the Great, added a huge contribution to the legacy of ancient Egypt. Ramses co-ruled over Egypt with his father Seti I from the age of 14. After his father died, Ramses became the pharaoh. One of the first things Ramses had to do as new pharaoh was to deal with the pirates.
Wait, did you just say pirates?
Yeah, pirates. During this time, Egyptian vessels with cargo were being attacked by a group called the Shurdan. Ramses outsmarted the Shurdan by tactically placing a trap.
He had a prey vessel which the pirates were going to attack.
Only what they didn't know, that troops were waiting close by. Ramses catch the Shurdan by surprise and a sea battle occurred. After the sea battle, many of the pirates were captured. Some became part of Ramses' royal guard. In his early life, Ramses led many military campaigns to regain control of Egypt's territories, such as the areas controlled by the Nubians and Hittites. After this victory, Ramses made it clear that the next one in line were the Hittites, and this led to the Battle of Kadesh, which was in modern-day Syria.
Ramses made his preparations, and in 1274 BCE, he moved with his army to the Hittite Empire.
The army was split in 4 parts, and each part of the army was called after a different god: Amun, Ra, Set, and Ptah. Ramses set up camp not far from Kadesh with the idea that the Hittites were not anywhere close. After setting camp, he got surprised by the Hittites,
who attacked and looted the Egyptian camp.
Eventually, Ramses did manage to win the battle, as one of his special divisions just arrived on time for backup. The Hittite chariots got jammed in the camp and were easily being finished off by the archers. The leader of the Hittites had way more soldiers ready, but the problem was that he stationed them at the wrong place.
Strangely, after the battle, Ramses went back to Egypt and didn't even capture the city of Kadesh. There are a lot more battle achievements to Ramses' name, but that's not all. Ramses also constructed great monuments and temples, such as the temples in Abu Simbel, the hall in Karnak, a complex at Abydos, Ramesseum in Thebes, and hundreds of other buildings.
His mummy can be seen in the Grand Egyptian Museum, which opens next year. Ramses had a relatively small household with about 200 wives and 150 children, and eventually he died at the wonderful age of 92. It was very hard to choose which pharaohs are at the top, as most pharaohs have made humongous marks on our history,
and still influence us nowadays. Looking at his time as pharaoh, his achievements, and the huge legacy he left behind, we can only place Ramses at our number 1 of this video.
See you soon at the next episode of ListLocators. If you want more crazy top 5s, don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you all. Or as the ancient Egyptians would say, Tuaten.